Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about Riku. So, I'm going back into the How Strong Are They series, and today we're going to do Riku, one of the most known characters in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Excuse me. So, we're going to start off with each variation of Riku from each game and talk about them. Alright, so we're going to talk about KH1 Riku in base. So, the thing here about KH1 Riku is in base is that he was able to control the Heartless. That's really all that he was really known to be able to do. Also in KH1 he had pretty good physical prowess when it came to sword combat. But that was against a Sora that wasn't really trained the best, and Riku was the oldest, so he definitely probably just won because of just, more experience just by like 2 years. But not really much to go off from this Riku. He's pretty strong when it comes to physical things, when it comes to sword combat with people that are like Sora's strength in the beginning of KH1 to probably his strength. And he's able to control the Heartless. He's pretty smart when it comes to most tactical things. But that's really much it. But once you get into his second variation in KH1, when he merged with Ansem, it's a totally different story. So, this Riku here, Dark Riku, he is what I call the epitome of a power boost in the series. Ansem in KH1 is pretty powerful. We'll get to him soon. But to talk about Riku, we have to talk about Ansem's power. He'll have a video coming soon, but I'll give you the gist of what Ansem can do. He can reality shift, reality warp, he can control the realm of darkness, summon Heartless, control the Heartless. He can use the Guardian, he's a master of darkness and intelligence. And he also gave Riku the strongest power buff that we've seen so far in Kingdom Hearts. So, in KH1, Riku merging with Ansem is probably the biggest power buff we've seen in the series, because all of the other games, there really wasn't that much of merging to create the stronger enemy. We did have Terranort, but technically Xehanort going into Terra still existed in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, so Terra was getting stronger and stronger over the time with Xehanort in his body. So I'm not going to call that the strongest power boost, because technically we don't see Terranort's strongest potential until Kingdom Hearts BBS or Kingdom Hearts 3. But the thing here is that for Riku, in the short amount of time he merged with Ansem, he was able to reality warp, go through dimensional portals, attack you, have quick speed, be able to use infinite amount of darkness without running out of stamina, without running out of energy. This boy in KH1, when he merged with Ansem, was technically far beyond the class of even normal Keyblade wielders. Also, the thing here with Riku is that once he also merged with Ansem, it seems as if his fighting style became more complex. He wasn't just attacking willy-nilly and just swinging, he actually had a compressed fighting style. It seemed as if that his fighting style became a lot more, should I say, forward with their attacks. He became a lot more aggressive, not just swinging his Keyblade just to win. He actually became aggressive because he wanted to kill. So the thing here about Riku in this state also is that he's causing Genesis. Riku in this form is actually, I think, one of the most evil characters to exist in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Not many people talk about it because it's technically been thrown under the rug, but Riku in this state is literally helping Ansem cause the end of the world's existence, technically. So if you think about it, Riku's pretty evil, and the outfit shows how evil he is. But also with Riku also having the dark form, let's talk about the form as well. It helps him defend against darkness and light attributes at a higher standpoint, and even normal magic. It gives him a stronger defensive stat in most games that you can use it in. Also, it makes him even faster and even quicker on his toes to kill his opponent. And the thing here is that with the Keyblade he's holding, is, well, technically known as one of the stronger Keyblades in the franchise, because it's literally all the Princesses of Hearts, technically, except for Kairi. Also, his hand isn't glowing right now in this picture, but he also has the Oblivion hand, which gives him even more of a power boost, and uses Dark Aurora technique, which allows him to go through portals, slashing through you hundreds of times until he kills you, which means he's pretty violent. Riku in this state is off the charts. And in KH3 just shows even more how off the charts he is. But Riku in this state is, I would scale far above many of the Keyblade builders and many of the other games that just fought or to protect. And the thing here is that this Riku had so much potential to even be stronger if Riku never left this form behind in Kingdom Hearts, but he did because he wanted to move on from what Ansem has given him. But the thing here is that Riku here is merged with what technically in Kingdom Hearts 3, if you want to call Ansem Omni, you can, because of the potential that Ansem's able to do. He was destroying worlds with just darkness alone, which technically that does make him that. And the problem here is that Ansem's potential grows even more inside of Riku. The more destruction Riku caused, the more powerful Ansem and him became together. They're like an unstoppable force together, but he lost to Sora, which is pretty interesting, which shows you how powerful Sora is, but we'll get to his video in a future date. Now let's talk about the other form of Riku. Chain of Memories Riku. So, there's not really much of a power gap here when it comes to the beginning of Chain of Memories, but I can tell you that Riku's physical prowess in Kingdom Hearts is really good. Just from having Ansem merged with him, his skill in Chain of Memories skyrocketed. He beat Lexaeus and he beat Zexion, which is very impressive on its own. Even he fought Vexen and looked like he was about to kill Vexen, and Vexen didn't have a shield. So Riku's very impressive in Chain of Memories. There's not really much to go off of, but I can tell you he's very powerful, and he's very, very unpredictable when it comes to taking down his enemies. Now also, in Chain of Memories, Riku does have a really, really good sense of smell for some reason. I don't know why, but he does. And also, Riku in Chain of Memories is very, very intellectual. He's actually very good at responding to many things that are happening during a certain amount of time. And I feel as if Riku gets not a lot of credit in Chain of Memories. He did defeat Ansem, but he did also use Ansem's power against him. So it's pretty interesting. Remember, Ansem thought Riku as his prodigy. So that shows you how much potential Riku actually has in Kingdom Hearts. Master Xehanort saw Sora as his next prodigy, but they just, like in DDD said, we just did what the Keyblade did. We moved down to the next choices, which means Riku was chosen for so much greatness, and he probably still is, and he has so much potential. And in Chain of Memories, he really showed how much potential he has. I really can't make much of a different case between these two different Rikus because they're both technically the same power. Not really when it comes to him going into, when he's in base, not going into dark form. But once he's in dark form in Chain of Memories, he's actually very powerful, very overpowered, and he does hefty damage. And Riku has a lot of AoE abilities, a lot of field destruction abilities, which makes him even stronger. He's just off the chains, even as this age as a boy. Now let's get to everyone's probably favorite form of Riku. This is 358 Riku and Kingdom Hearts 2 Riku. This Riku here is pretty strong as well. A lot more training. He did have to go all out against Roxas to win and take Ansem's power, but it's really not his fault. 50% of Sora is very powerful, so I don't blame him. But the thing here is that also he did take down Xion, which is pretty impressive. And also he did outsmart many of the other people that he was fighting against, which is very impressive. Riku at this time also had more of Ansem's power inside of him, enough to become Ansem and use the Guardian at its full potential, which is hugely impressive. He was able to use the Guardian to stop Roxas from moving. He blitzed Roxas with Ansem's power. Ansem with the Guardian is stronger than a 50% Sora, which shows you the potential of how much power Riku really had inside of him from Ansem. If he was ever one day to figure out how to control it at its full potential and its full might, he would have actually been able to probably beat Roxas without transforming. And the thing here about Riku is that, like I said, he's very smart, very intellectual. He also helped Sora take down Xemnas in this state. Both of these states, they're the same Riku, but they both did it together. So if we talk about it, they're the same Riku. I just got the different picture because people probably wanted to see it. But this Riku, both of them, they helped Sora take down Xemnas, which is huge. Xemnas in his final form, it was supposed to be known as the strongest person that Sora has ever fought at the time of Kingdom Hearts 2. And Xemnas was, threatening to erase all of existence, which means, he was going to kill everything to exist in all of the worlds. No matter how far you were away from him, his nothingness would have reached you, which makes him Omni, close to Ansem, which is terrifying. The Xehanorts are all powerful and have no limits. But Sora and Riku together were able to take down Xemnas, and that is this Riku's biggest, should I say, accomplishment. I don't have DDD Riku up because, well, sure, but DDD Riku was able to fight young Xehanort, which is pretty impressive, but he did need Sora's help to stop his time ability, which makes sense because, well, young Xehanort at that time was really powerful. All the Xehanorts are very powerful. I'll have a video coming out about them soon, but I want you all to understand that Ansem giving Riku his power made him so that darkness is not effective against Riku. He probably could just absorb it or eat it if he wanted to, something that Sora can't do. And the pretty interesting thing about this is that Riku is so much different than the other Guardians of Light because he's smart, he's strong, he's quick, he's been through so much, he's suffered a lot because he was used by Ansem. Even though Ansem treated him as a student, Riku saw it as something worse than that because Riku was killing so many people in this state. He killed probably millions. Think about it, all the worlds that were being destroyed. Ansem was saying that thousands of worlds are being destroyed in seconds because of the plan that he had with Riku. That means Riku was literally causing genesis in thousands of different worlds every second. Riku was a masochist back then. And if you think about it, Riku's been through a lot when it comes to mental issues with his own self. Riku kind of hated himself for a long time, and he still kind of does. And the thing here about that is that made Riku stronger mentally. For even in KH3, he didn't want to give up because he wants to protect Sora. He owes Sora a lot for saving him from that darkness, which shows you Riku is becoming stronger not because he just wants to be better than Sora, but because he wants to fight beside Sora. He wants to prove that he will no longer fall to the darkness and will be able to do anything possible to save the world that he once almost destroyed, which makes me like Riku a lot more. It also shows how strong he's become mentally about himself, which is really good. Now, I don't really know how to explain these two Rikus. They're different. They're definitely different. Should we explain Kingdom Hearts 3 Riku first? KH3 Riku is a whole nother level of powerful. Being able to fight the replicas, being able to fight the Xehanorts all together, being able to fight Xigbar, Ansem, and Replica Riku on his own for a little bit of time is pretty impressive on its own as well. He was able to stop the swarm of Heartless by himself as well for a certain amount of time, as much as he could. It's pretty cool to see Riku's progression in the game, and him also being able to use the power of waking to go try to find Sora in Quadratum. I know this Melody of Memories, but it's only a year later. I'm not going to really say Riku became that much stronger in a year. He probably could have, but this is the same Riku in Melody of Memories, just like in Kingdom Hearts 3, so it's not really that much of a difference. Riku has high potential. Riku has great potential. Riku is literally Ansem's student. Technically, he's Ansem's prodigy. He still can use the powers of Ansem, even in this state. I don't know why he doesn't. Maybe it's because he's tired. He wants to move past that age of himself. But he still has Dark Form. And he still has all the other powers that Ansem gave him. We know that for sure because, well, hello, this Riku here is literally him. He didn't lose any of this when he became this age, so I don't know why he doesn't use it anymore. Technically, it feels like Riku's holding back to me, but maybe it's just me. But the thing here, Riku was a huge part of Kingdom Hearts 3. He had plans, strategies. He figured out how Xemnas and Ansem were younger. He figured out the entire plan of how the Xehanorts got together. He also was able to help Mickey try to find Aqua, and they did find Aqua. He also helped Sora and the rest of the gang fight the Seekers of Darkness. He was also able to, he also even jumped up and clashed with Master Xehanort, only for like a brief like millisecond, and got pushed back, but he did do pretty well in that fight against the replicas as well, handling them off. Also, if you think about it even more, Riku did save Mickey's life because, well, Mickey was, well, passed out floating, while, or, a little bit dazed, let's say that. And Riku went over and pushed Mickey out the way, blocking the attack, which shows you that Mickey has a lot more stamina, should I say, than Mickey, and a lot more, should I say, bravado? That word's pretty good for Riku, I'm thinking. I think I actually like using that word more than any of the other ones that come to mind. And Riku's very confident in himself. He knows that he can handle what he needs to get what he needs done, which is really impressive in KH3. And let's talk about his other KH3 variant. Dark Riku, as we call him, he is off the charts. I know we've all seen his data battle, right? So the thing here is that everything Ansem can do, Riku can do. So he has his Dark Aurora, he has the exploding diamonds, he has the claw, he has the shockwaves, the red shockwaves, the lightning, he has the huge amount of speed, the dark barrier, and he can reflect and hurt you as well. He has the slam, he jumps around all the time, he throws his Keyblade at you, he just does everything. And the man is, this boy is unstoppable, just like his desperation move. You can't even stop him out of his desperation move. He's just that powerful. And the thing here is that he's so fast. And it shows you how powerful this version of Riku was in Kingdom Hearts 1 and in Chain of Memories. So if you see how powerful this version of Riku is, think of KH3 Riku and how strong he is and the progression they've went through. And it's so interesting to think about it because all the abilities that Riku is using, he still has in KH3, which I know he's probably moved on from that part of himself from Ansem, but we do see him use Dark Faraga and Remind, which is actually pretty impressive, which is he still does have the darkness that was left inside of him from Ansem, and the dark barrier he has is from Ansem as well, which means that a lot of the power that Ansem has given to Riku comes from him. And let's not forget that Ansem is 50% of Master Xehanort, or of Terranort, which means he's 50% also Master Xehanort. And while we've seen Ansem's data battle, haven't we? He can cover the entire arena in nothing but waterfalls of darkness. Technically, that's supposedly him covering the entire worlds in his darkness, which is terrifying. But we're not going to talk about that. But the thing here is that Riku is one of my favorite characters in Kingdom Hearts, and I'm so happy to see how much progression he has went through over the past years in KH. In all of the games. I don't have DDD up, sorry, I know a lot of people, I don't have that up, but it's not like the game was good anyway. But the thing here is that Riku is awesome, and I'm happy to see how strong he's become. I don't know how long he's going to last in Quadratum, the world of fiction, even though technically it's our world, so do they think the Kingdom Hearts world is the world of fiction? I don't know. I'm getting off topic, but I don't know how long Riku will last in Quadratum. Maybe he'll use his dark form again in Quadratum if he goes against Yuzora. I hope so. It looks so sick to see the dark form of Riku here on Kingdom Hearts 3 Riku. It'd be so sick to see. We'll probably never get to, but it doesn't matter. It's fine with me. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Riku's, I would say if I rank him amongst any of the Kingdom Hearts Guardians of Light, I would say he's probably in the top 5, definitely. He's higher than 5 and 4, I can promise you that. I think Riku probably 3. I know we have Terra, and I know a lot of people say that Terra and Aqua will probably be 2 and 3. I think Sora's number 1 in strength, but I'd say Riku's probably stronger than Terra because of, well, Riku did get a lot of Ansem's power, and yeah, he was Terranort, but he doesn't have that potential from Xehanort anymore, like it was left behind in Riku, so it could be a little different, we don't know. But we'll see. But thank you all for watching. That's it for today. And if you have any questions or anything you disagree with in this video, please leave them down in the comments below. And please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.